Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, let's hope this doesn't start to become the new norm as some countries are just pushing the panic button. First off, excuse my look this morning. I literally just got back from the gym. Before I step in the shower, I just had to cover this story off today. I thought some people might want to know because I found it really interesting and actually, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Let's talk about it. So there is a ship sailing from Cape Verde. I think it's Verde or Verdi. About 700 nautical miles off the coast of Africa. It's about here on the map. I put it up someplace. And it is the MS Hamburg, and it arrives in Argentina. Nobody has gotten off the ship yet. Nobody has done anything yet, and one passenger on board has come down with unspecified symptoms of COVID. Unspecified, and I think the wording was unrelated. Like symptoms that are not necessarily exactly what you would expect when you have COVID. Nothing life-threatening or hospitalization-wise or anything like that. The person is in isolation on the ship, and one other crew member is in isolation under watch as well. But the strange part of the story is Argentina ordered them, the whole ship and crew, into full isolation. Full isolation. And then they ordered every single passenger and crew member to be tested, which they all were, and they all did PCR tests, not antigen tests, and they all passed. Except for the two people. The ship now is still remaining in isolation and quarantine while epidemiologists and investigators try and discover, is this the Omicron strain of COVID or not? In an effort to delay the arrival, they say, of Omicron into the country. And I'm going, first of all, the country the ship is coming from has had no cases of the Omicron to begin with. All the passengers are from that area. Nobody is coming directly from Africa, as far as I can tell from the stories I've been reading and the articles I've been reading. The symptoms seem to be very mild. Nobody got off the ship. Is this too extreme? Is this just way, way overboard too extreme? It's one thing to say, okay, we're going to deny you the port, but we're going to investigate these two people, continue on your cruise. But no, they pulled them into the port, and they isolated them in the cruise port while the investigation and the quarantine is going on. So now these people who just got on their cruise are just, hey, we get to look at a bunch of container ships because they're docked in the isolation area, which is basically where all the container ships are kept. And that's their view for the unknown precedent of time until they decide whether or not this is Omicron. And if it's not Omicron, then what do they do? Oh, don't worry, it's not Omicron, it's just the Delta variant. Well, remember when the Delta variant was the ultra-contagious variant that we all had to worry about? So now if it's just the Delta variant, what are they going to do? Are they going to release the ship and say everybody's okay? If it is the Omicron virus, what are you going to do? Keep these people on the ship or send them back to Cape Verde? I don't get it. I don't get the absolute utter fear when there is absolutely still no data out there on this. Because this isn't the only strain since Delta that's come out. Remember, there was there was one coming from Brazil, the Brazilian variant, which was supposed to become the next dominant strain and was supposed to take over everything, including the Delta, etc. And it didn't. It didn't do that. So are we doing the exact same thing again? I don't know. I just think this is a little... It's one thing to isolate the people on the ship. It's one thing to say, okay, don't come to port while we investigate this. Continue out at sea, and then we will... we will bring you... We'll find out the answers, and then we'll make a decision at that point. But to bring them into port and say, go over there and sit there until we tell you they're ready. I thought we were past this ridiculousness. And I say it's ridiculousness for this reason. Remember what happened at the beginning? And they kept everybody on the ships. And that's when the virus spread, and that's when we had the worst cases of the virus ever. And that was in the news stories. The Diamond Princess, the Ruby Princess. We heard all those stories, and everyone, oh my God, that'll never happen again. So what do? They happen again. They go and do it again. So if this is an ultra contagious, deadly, spreading virus, they just repeated the same mistakes they did 2 years ago, almost to the day. Almost 2 years ago. They're making the exact same mistake. Go over there, you all stay together, and stay on that ship, and I'm sure everything will be fine. I mean, come on. Oh, well, at least this hasn't happened in North America yet, and I pray that it doesn't start happening in the Caribbean or Europe, because I think this is completely irresponsible to have done it this way. But hey, I'm just a cruiser who enjoys going cruising. But doesn't it bring you back memories of March of last year, where we're going to isolate the ship and everybody stays on board? Isn't that exactly the opposite of what you're supposed to do? I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words. Well, here's hoping it's not Omicron, and these folks can just be glad they're only with the really highly contagious Delta variant, I guess, because apparently now that's nothing in the world. It's only all about Omicron. At least in Argentina, everybody. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.